This video explains how to set up a random leg race course based on permanent marks such as channel markers or moored race buoys. Regattas, courses, and associated marks are managed in the Tactics service. This allows users in the same region to share courses and marks, and avoids having to enter the same information many times. Once you have a regatta and its courses defined, you can synchronize your iOS device in the Setup tab of the Tactics app. This will copy the regatta and course information to your device for offline availability. To create a course, first ensure that all the marks required are defined in the database. Next, create a regatta entry that will hold the courses defined in the sailing instructions. Then, you can define each course based on the existing marks. Now we will walk you through those 3 steps in detail. Start by selecting the marks bookmark on the left. Marks are organized by region. You can select the region you are working in using the down arrow next to the current region title. By default, the list shows the neighboring regions. Clicking on Show All lets you select from all regions. If you cannot find the region you are looking for, please email us and we will add it for you. In many regions you will find existing marks already, and you can review them by clicking on the eye icon. This will give you a map view of the region with the defined marks. If you need to add new marks, use the Create Mark button at the top or bottom of the page. In the dialog, enter the mark name and an optional description. We recommend to keep the mark name short to ensure it fits into all user interface elements that display metrics relative to the next mark while racing. For example, instead of channel marker 3, use CM3. Next, select the type of mark. The list includes various channel markers, danger marks, range marks, freestanding features such as lighthouses or rocks, mooring buoys, and various shaped floating race marks. You can also define a geolocation-based starting or finish line. Then select the group the mark belongs to. Choose either personal waypoints if this is not a mark used in sailing instructions, for example, marks you use for your training sessions. Otherwise, select the group associated with the region you are creating the mark in. In some regions you may find additional groups that are associated with a yacht club maintaining a set of racing marks. Next, enter the position of the mark. You can either provide the latitude and longitude numerically as fractional degrees, or in full degrees and fractional minutes. Alternatively, you can click on the map to position the mark. Click into the map again if you need to correct the position. In case of a starting or finish line, the first click is associated with the starboard end of the line, denoted by the boat icon, and the second click with the port end denoted by the pin icon. You can drag either end to correct the positions of the line ends. The region should be set to the region the mark is created in, and by default shows the currently active region. Lastly, select the permanent checkbox if the mark is permanently moored at this position, and click on the Create button at the bottom of the dialog. Once you have all required marks defined, use the Regattas bookmark on the left to check whether an entry for the regatta you are racing in exists. If you find the regatta in the list, ensure that the Participating checkbox is selected. Only courses belonging to the checked regattas are synchronized to your device, so you just have the relevant data to choose from when you are racing. If the regatta has not been created yet, use the Create Regatta button at the bottom of the page. Enter the event name and organizing club. We recommend using the same names as provided in the notice of race to let all users easily recognize the event. Select a start and end date for the regatta. Next, enter the approximate position of the starting area for the event. You can also click on Select on Interactive Map to enter the position. The start area position is used to analyze the defined course's geometry against expected wind and surface current conditions in the Tactics app before you go racing and before a starting line was pinged. Having the start area defined here ensures that the full course geometry is available before race day. Then adjust the region the regatta is held in if required. By default, the currently active region is selected. If this is not an official event, for example a regatta entry to hold your personal training courses, select the personal regatta checkmark. Optionally, you can also define individual race days, for example when defining a summer series that is held weekly. Now that you have a regatta entry, and all marks defined as per the sailing instructions, use the Race Courses bookmark on the left to add the individual courses. The list shows the already defined courses in your region organized by club name. Check whether the courses for your event already exist, otherwise use the Create Course button at the top or bottom of the page. In the dialog, select the regatta the course belongs to from the list. Then enter a course name following the naming in the sailing instructions. If this is not an official course from the sailing instructions, but for example a training course, select the personal checkmark. Choose the region you want to select marks from. By default, this is the currently active region. Then use the drop-down list to select the mark. You can choose whether the mark is to be rounded to port or to starboard. Repeat this for all marks. The list automatically grows as you add marks. If your course spans across multiple regions, you can change the region to select the next mark from. For courses which use the starting line also as the finish, you can use the special mark, Start Finish, as the last mark of the course. The Start Finish mark's position will be updated to the live starting boat and pin positions when the race actually starts. The map view shows you the course geometry as you build it. The line connector colors go from green at the course start to red at the course end. If the course requires navigation around land, we recommend adding a public waypoint as a mark within the corresponding leg. This will ensure that your next leg information during the race corresponds to the direction you have to sail to, versus the theoretical course leading over land. Click on the Create button at the bottom of the dialog to save the course. Once you have all the mark, course, and regatta information defined, synchronize your device from the Tactics App Setup tab to copy the data to your iOS device for offline access. In the Tactics app, you can select a predefined course on the starting page by tapping the Course button. Select the regatta, then the course that you want to sail. On iPad devices, you can also select the course from the Navigate tab by clicking on the Set button. As you use the Tactics system and have all marks in your region defined, adding new courses becomes very quick. We encourage you not to check mark and course-related information as personal if it is used in official events. A great benefit of the Tactics system is the ability to share the information from the sailing instructions in a ready-to-use digital form between all Tactics users in your area.